Hello and welcome to Dream Life Designer, where I help you reach your goals and make your dreams a reality. I'm Lauren, and in this video you will learn an exercise to help you reflect on your past year and make your coming year even more productive in reaching your goals and making your dreams a reality. Also, I come out with new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe and click on the bell to be the first to know about them. With the year coming to a close, it is a great practice to review and reflect on your past year. And there are a couple reasons for this. One is for encouragement, to see all that you have accomplished and done in the past year. And the other is to use what you can learn from the last year to improve your next year and make it even better. The first step is to focus on what you have accomplished this last year. This is a great time to pull out your list of goals you've set, your short-term and long-term goals, any actionable steps you've written out for the past year. Pull those out and take a look through them. And if you haven't yet, get a highlighter in hand so that as you go through, you can highlight all the things that you have accomplished so far. If you've already highlighted it, that's great. You can just look at it. But take some time to really acknowledge and celebrate all that you have accomplished this past year. Even if you didn't accomplish everything, there are still a lot of things you have accomplished. And if you didn't write it down, maybe you hadn't gotten around to writing everything down, take some time to just think back over your last year. Maybe make a new list of things you have accomplished this past year. So take that time and think about, what dreams are you living now that you weren't living a year ago? Or that maybe you're closer to living. You're not all the way there yet, but you are closer than you were a year ago. Or maybe things that you've improved, that it was something that you've already had going on in your life, but you've made it even better. So take that time, take pride in those accomplishments that you have made this year, and take some time to celebrate it and give yourself a pat on the back. After you've done that, the next step is to see what you can learn from the past year. For this exercise, I've created a quick little worksheet to make it easier for you that you can get for free at a link below in the description, so check down there for that. You can make this worksheet by hand, but I just wanted to make it a little easier for you, so that template's down there, and I'll be interjecting it here throughout the video to show examples, and so you can see how you can use that to help review and prepare for an even better year next year. The worksheet you'll see is a grid, and there are 4 columns to it. To start, you're going to look at that first column, the unmet goals column. Just like it says, you're going to write any goals you did not meet there. In each separate section of that grid down the column, write different goals that you didn't quite reach this year, whatever they may be. You can look through your yearly goals from last year, your actionable steps you were going to take, and then write down the ones that you didn't get to, or that you just weren't able to accomplish. The next step is to think about what prevented you from achieving those goals. So that's the next column. Next to each of those separate goals that you've written down that you didn't reach, take a little time to think, what got in the way? Why didn't you reach it? And you might need to ask why a couple times. I'll get to an example about this, but there might be a quick answer of why you didn't reach it, but there may be some deeper answers too. So take some time to think about and be honest with yourself. Why didn't you reach these goals? What prevented you from reaching them? The next 2 columns are for you to be strategic about next year and to plan, how can you keep those things from getting in your way? Those things that were preventing you from reaching goals last year, what plans can you set in place to keep those from getting in your way so that you can achieve more and live that life that you are dreaming of? And we have 2 columns. We have the specific column and the general column, and I'm going to get into more detail about that with some examples. Let's say one of my unmet goals was to lose weight this last year, and it didn't happen. So I write that down in my first column. Second column, I'm going to write down what prevented me from doing that. Well, I didn't exercise. Maybe that was my plan. That was an actionable step. I was going to start exercising regularly to lose that weight, and I didn't. So that's a good start to write there in that second column. But this is where we start asking why. Because, okay, I didn't exercise, but why didn't I exercise? What prevented me from exercising? So I'm going to dig a little bit deeper here. The reason I didn't exercise, when I ask why, is because I didn't feel like it. So I'd write that down. But then I could still ask why again. Well, why didn't I feel like it? Well, I'd planned on exercising at the end of the day, so I was tired at the end of the day, so I didn't feel like it. And maybe another reason is I didn't have accountability, because I didn't have anyone that knew about it or that I was exercising with. I was just on my own, and there was just nothing to hold me to it. I didn't feel like it. I was tired. No accountability. That's basically why. So that's that one. Once I finish asking why multiple times and figure out what are the real root causes, what are the things going on here that prevented me from doing that, the next step is to strategize. So I'm going to look at a specific strategy. So if I want to use that goal again this year, if I want to lose weight this coming year and I want to make that happen, I think of specific things I can do to overcome those things that prevented me last year and to meet that goal. So some things I could do is I could switch to planning to exercise in the morning because I was always tired after work. So if I exercise in the morning, maybe I'll be more likely to do it because I will feel like it more because that's first thing in the morning. So that could be one strategy. I could do it with a friend. That would help keep me accountable. That might make it more fun. So that's another strategy. Or maybe I could join a class. There's maybe an exercise class because I could put money on the line and that would make me want to be accountable to use my money wisely, accountable to the people in the class. And if it's a morning class, then it does it early in the day. So those are some specific strategies that I can use to achieve that goal this coming year. After finding those specific strategies, I'm also going to look for general strategies. So these are strategies that I can apply maybe to other things as well, not just to that specific goal, but what can I learn about those things that prevented me from achieving the goal and apply it more broadly? For example, give myself accountability because I wasn't accountable to anyone. So creating accountability could be a good strategy for me. And finding the right time for things might be a good strategy. Taking into account when I'm tired, when I would have energy to do something. So those could be general strategies I might apply to other things. Let's look at one more example. That I'm a graphic designer and my goal is to have one freelance graphic design job I'm working on each month because that's just kind of a side thing for now. But my goal is to have one each month that I'm working on, and maybe I didn't have one every month. Maybe I just had one for the whole year or just a couple of the months. So I didn't have that consistency that I was looking for. So that's my unmet goal, was having a freelance job each month. Now I need to look at what prevented me from having that. Right off the bat, I can think of that I didn't have enough clients. I didn't have enough clients to fill all those months up. So I'll write that down, and then I need to think, why didn't I have enough clients? Well, maybe because not a lot of people know about me. Okay, why don't a lot of people know about me? Maybe I didn't do enough advertising. My name's not out there. And I can ask again, why didn't I do a lot of advertising? Well, maybe I'm not sure how to do the advertising to get my name out there to draw in those clients. So that's a good amount of ideas of what prevented me from that. I move on to the next step about strategizing. One specific thing I can do is to learn about advertising. I can make that something I focus on this next year, is to learn how to get my name out there, learn how to advertise so that I can draw those clients in. I could either take a class, read books, ask a friend who knows about advertising. There are lots of different ways to go about that, but figure out some strategic way to approach that and learn how to advertise. And maybe another thing I might do, because I didn't do enough advertising, is maybe I could set a schedule to advertise so that I know at certain points throughout the year I will be focusing on getting advertising out to draw in those clients so that I have enough people who know about me to come and use my business. Then the next step is to look at the general strategies. And in this case, one thing that stands out to me in looking at this is that I didn't really look at all of the steps necessary to reach my goal. My goal was to have those regular clients each month, but I didn't really think about what it would take to draw those clients in and what else I needed to learn in order to do those steps that it took. That general strategy can be to think through all of the required steps for a goal and plan for any required learning to achieve that goal. Take this worksheet, do that for all of your unmet goals this year, to come up with specific strategies and to come up with general strategies. And as you go along, you may see, gosh, this same general thing keeps coming up, like maybe it's accountability. Gosh, a lot of these things, I didn't have accountability. That's really why I didn't follow through. So you can realize, ooh, that's a really important one for me to focus on this year. So this can really help you get to know yourself better, figure out how to overcome those roadblocks that you encounter. And then as you go forward into planning your next year, you can apply this. And really, this is great for any time. Even if it's not the beginning of the year, it's great for any time you're setting goals or you're looking at how to be more effective in achieving goals. This can help you get to know yourself better and be more effective at what you're doing. So when you look at the year ahead, you can take these strategies and apply them. So for any goals that you're still working on, goals from last year that you didn't achieve, that you want to achieve this year, then use those specific strategies that you already came up with for those and fit those in to your plan for the year. Now, some of those goals, maybe you'll decide, I didn't really care about this goal. If it's a goal that you don't really care about anymore, it's not something got in the way of it, but you're just like, I wanted to learn fiddle and I don't really care about fiddle anymore, then just cross it off. Don't worry about it. You could still see if that's what got in the way or if something else got in the way. But if you don't care about it, don't worry about it the next year. All the ones that you still care about, still keep working on this next year. Just like in that example of wanting to lose weight, probably I would still want to lose weight if I didn't lose the weight last year. So I would apply those strategies that I discovered for this coming year. Now, for your other goals you're setting that are new goals, take those general things that you discovered in that last column, those general strategies, and apply those as you create your new goals and your new actionable steps for this next year. For example, let's say I want to grow my own vegetables in my own garden. My goal is to grow most of my own vegetables this summer for myself. As I'm setting those goals, as I'm setting steps to reach those goals, I'm going to look at my general strategies. And maybe one that applies here is the thinking through all the steps, because maybe I'm brand new to gardening. So I need to take some time to think through, well, what are all the steps I need to take to get to those vegetables that I'm harvesting in the summer? Thinking through all those steps. And then also learning, what things do I need to learn to do that? If I haven't gardened before, I need to learn about tilling the ground. I need to learn about types of fertilizing and augmenting the soil, all of those things. So those two general strategies will work great for that goal. Thinking through all the steps, figuring out what all I need to learn, and planning to learn those things. Maybe another new goal I want to set is to improve my piano skills, my piano playing. And that's one that I could look at and say, accountability might be important here. Maybe I should get a teacher who will help me improve, who will hold me accountable, or maybe I should have a friend who I tell about this who's holding me accountable. Maybe I should also think about the time of day that I'm planning to practice this. When will I most feel like doing it? When will I be most likely to actually sit down and do the practicing? Maybe not right after work when I'm exhausted. So like these examples, take those general strategies you've discovered and apply them to your specific goals for this next coming year. Since I'm talking about goal setting right now, I also want to let you know I've put links below to some of the other videos I've made previously about long-term and short-term goal setting, about being able to achieve your yearly goals, how to plan those actionable steps. So if you want to get some more information on how to go about your goal setting for the next year, you can look below for the links to those videos. Another thing I want to say too is this video I focused a lot on accomplishments, on how to achieve goals and ones that you haven't achieved and planning for that. But it's also important to reflect on things that bring you joy as well. And I didn't go into this a lot in this video. So rather than looking at just goals and tasks and accomplishments, you're reflecting more on the feeling of life, your experience of life, and how to make that better next year. I have a video I made previously called Increase Joy and Reduce Stress. You can find a link to that below. In that video, I share a great exercise for reflecting on joys and stressors and how to improve the joys in your life, increase the joys, and how to reduce the stressors. So I also encourage that you check that out at this time of year. That's also a great thing to be doing as your year's coming to a close. So take a look below, find those videos. Also be sure to watch next week's video because I'm going to be sharing tips on how to get your new year started off right. So you don't want to miss that one. So again, be sure to click subscribe and on the bell to get notified when it comes out. I also have a special announcement to share with you. I'm not going to give you too many details right now, but I just want to give you a little teaser that I have something in the works. I'm creating a new resource for you that I think you will find really helpful in reaching your goals and reaching your dreams, making them a reality in your life. So stay tuned in future videos and on Facebook and Instagram for future announcements about that resource that'll be coming out later next month. Have a wonderful time reflecting on your past year. Remember to really be proud of those things that you've accomplished. I wish you a happy new year and that you get it off to a great start. And remember to come back next week and watch that video on how to get it off to a great start. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, please click like and share it with a friend. Also, as you do this exercise and maybe you discover, gosh, this is an area like accountability or thinking through all the steps. If you find an area that you see over and over, oh gee, this is an area that I need to strategize in, Leave a comment below and share with us what that strategy is that you came up with. Because there might be other people watching this who have that same challenge, who have that same thing that prevented them from achieving goals, and you figured out a way to help. Or maybe someone else can figure out a way that will help you. So please be sure to share below in the comments what's something that you have strategized, maybe one of your general ones, that other people might be able to apply to their life as well. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year, and I'll see you next time.